Hi, this is the tree gardener, Herve, and we're going to talk a little bit about trunk damage through the sun. It can happen at two different times of the year, and that's direct sun in the summertime, getting inside a tree because it's been over pruned in the middle or tied down too hard, or the leaders removed and all of a sudden the canopy is gone. You can get severe sunburn on the upper sides of those limbs. And if you prune to clean everything in the beginning of the branch and leave only the tip, you've cleaned that whole area, which it doesn't feed in order to create taper and make a strong limb. All the weight and all the growth becomes on the end and branches break. But the other thing is from sun. When you remove everything, then no leaves are covering that limb, and so you can sunburn that area with the fruit trees. And so then there is the lower sun in this time of year. February, January, where what happens is it gets about 60 degrees during the day and very cold at night. So the cambium freezes underneath the bark, and then the sun comes out and liquefies it. And that change of expansion through freezing and thawing cracks the trunk. And when you crack the trunk, then you open to fungus and problems. And when you do get damage on a tree that's facing the sun, as the cambium tries to return and start to compartmentalize and seal off that wound on the trunk, that fresh new skin can get sunburned. So wounds need to be protected in order to protect that new cambium from dying back again and growing and dying back again. You go to all the stores in the parking lots and these trees that are up against the walls of the buildings and look at that south side of the trunk. It's wasted, it's dead, it's been burned over and over and over again. You know, and we're here as a community with our trees. So if we see that, you ain't going to get anybody to listen to you if it's a corporate place. So I go around and wrap trees, and I don't see them taking it off. So, you know, we're out there to look after. We look after our brothers and sisters. We can look after the one-leggeds too, you know, and think about it and keep some stuff in our car. And as we see things that we can correct without, you know, not a big deal. I wouldn't say pruning, you know, but if we can wrap a bandage and save the trunk from burning, the cambium, I think it's worth something. And it happens a lot all over the place. So you can see that you can wrap with paper or the guards for the two different heights and times of the year for the sun. There's a lot of other trunk damages that happen, but we'll cover this for now. Thank you. So this is like northeast. You know, that early morning sun in the summertime, because there's no lower limbs to shade. And before the leaves are out, that sun is still pretty good. And then with the frost cracking, the sun is low and it gets below branches and stuff. So we cover from the first branch down, you know. And this is like northeast, and then you're going to have south side getting sunburned too, and then you get tops of the trees and tops of the branches we were talking about. So it's throughout the tree, and we check places that are exposed. So be careful with summer pruning, because you can open it up when the bark isn't, it's so tender it's not used to the harsh sun. It takes time for the trunk to be fortified correctly and get older and get the bark thicker. And then eventually you can take the cover off, you know, the wraps. But if branches are weighted down with fruit, they end up bending and showing and exposing the top side of their base of their branch there. And that can get sunburned. And then that burns on the top. It starts dying back. And then the branch will break from the weight of the fruit. And you'll see, if you burn a major trunk after topping a tree and getting rid of the leaders to reduce a standard fruit tree, the sun will come in and it'll burn the top side of these big mature limbs that are holding and going out. And when you top, you put energy to the side branches. And then they get heavy and then they bend and then they expose the top of themselves and then they get sunburn. And you can rot the entire inside of a tree through sunburn, going right over the top of it and burning the inside. You need a little canopy over the tree no matter what kind of pruning design you're doing, with open vase or open glove or espalier. You need to still have the leaf coverage for shade to protect the bark from all exposures of the sun. Not overshading to bring in bugs and problems, but enough to dapple it to cool it off so that they get light and you get fruit down low and throughout the whole tree, but you're not sunburning. The balance. Create the balance and you will see magic.